Welcome to Daily Devotions on Tuesday, everybody. Thanks for joining me. So, yesterday we talked about that Jesus keeps our calling real, and I read the calling story of the disciples in John, and we talked about that Jesus called the people there in two different ways. We had this come and see first for those first two disciples, Andrew and Simon Peter, and then the nameless guy that's there with them. Come and see, Jesus says. And then when Jesus finds Philip, he just says, follow me. And I asked us to think a little bit about our own call stories and how we got to where we're at in faith. And then I also mentioned and leaned into it a little bit that Nathaniel's a disciple of Jesus because Philip called him. And Peter's a disciple of Jesus because his brother came and found him. And how interesting that is. I want to read the selection today just of Philip. It's John chapter 1, verse 43. And with Nathanael. The next day Jesus decided to go to Galilee. He found Philip and said to him, follow me. Now Philip was from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip found Nathanael and said to him, we found him about whom Moses in the law and also the prophets wrote, Jesus, son of Joseph, from Nazareth. Nathanael said to him, can anything good come out of Nazareth? Philip said to him, come and see. When Jesus saw Nathanael coming toward him, he said of him, here is truly an Israelite in whom there is no deceit. Nathanael asked him, where did you get to know me? Jesus answered, I saw you under the fig tree before Philip called you. Nathanael replied, Rabbi, you are the Son of God, you are the King of Israel. Jesus answered, do you believe because I told you that I saw you under the fig tree? You will see greater things than these. And he said to him, very truly I tell you, you will see heaven opened and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man. We need to sit with that story for just a few moments and just think about it a little bit. Jesus finds Philip. Philip finds Nathanael. I mean, pay attention to the verbs in the story. Jesus decided to go to Galilee. He found Philip. Philip found Nathanael. We've found him about whom Moses. Come and see. There's just such an interesting movement in the text, but what you end up seeing is that all these people are connected. And John's raising that up. Philip is from Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter, and so now we're back to those two disciples that Jesus met the day before, and how faith moves through groups. Religion, our life of faith moves through our connections with each other. None of these people existed on their own, and I really like how Jesus acknowledges Nathanael by saying, I saw you before. Who called you? Philip called you. I saw you before Philip called you. Wow. Philip called Nathanael to be a disciple of Jesus. And so Nathanael goes and meets Jesus. Sometimes I think that our perception of discipleship or evangelism or sharing our faith is that we have to go explain Jesus to people and provide some sort of convincing proof or share him in such a way that they can decide to believe, when really it's come and see. Come be who you are with Jesus and see what happens. Which is really where you're at and where I'm at. Sitting before Jesus and sitting in his love and inviting others to do the same. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Nathanael says, and Philip doesn't explain that. He doesn't justify it. He just says, come and see. So think about the amount of faith that had to have, that Philip was having and putting in Jesus, that something was going to happen. Because that's the issue, right? We found him. Come and see if we're right. We found him. Come and see for yourself. We found him, and suddenly there's this space there between the person Nathaniel and Jesus the Messiah, that something's happening. And Philip's standing in there as the mediator, inviting him to come and see. And the reason I say mediator is an important one, because when you get to the end of the story, verse 51, Jesus says, "Do you believe because I told you that I saw you under the fig tree? You will see greater things than these." And then he says, "Very truly I tell you, you will see heaven open and the angels of God ascending and descending upon the Son of Man." That goes all the way back to the story of Jacob wrestling with God, which I would say Nathaniel's doing right now, wrestling with who this person is. And Jacob sees that ladder with the angels ascending, going up and down, and Jesus says, "You're going to see heaven open and the angels of God ascending." What I think Jesus is saying is he's telling Nathaniel, "You're going to see greater things than this because I'm the link between heaven and earth. I'm the connection between humanity and God. I'm the connection between God's love and your insecurity, between hope and hopelessness. I'm the connection that is going to take you into a real experience and a real knowledge of God's love." And that's what we get today. But the beauty of it is it doesn't just come on its own. There's people and life and living that translates that for us into our lives. And the reason I say that is because I think our faith exists as head knowledge. So often we think of it as head knowledge and like willful, our own personal willful acknowledgement that we're whatever, faithful people, or that we're disciples. But here it's other people saying, "Come and see," and it's Jesus saying, "I'm the one," and it's Jesus inviting us to live in the knowledge that he knows us and that he's with us and that he's mediating God to us, but then also through us. Philip, come and see. And that's really all it is inviting other people into the life and into a relationship with Jesus. Come and see. But it teaches us how to look at the world, how to look what's happening in our relationships and in our struggles and in our joys, that Christ is actually there. May you know the risen Christ in everything today, and may you have the courage to invite others to come and see, even if it's just by how you love them, in Jesus' name. Have a blessed day.